Hi, everyone, and welcome to our conversation here in the very late stages of sanity. I'm no one of consequence, so we won't trouble ourselves with my name. I'm joined by a friend of more than 30 years who has adopted the moniker Winston Smith, which just happens to be the name of the protagonist in 1984 by George Orwell. However, any resemblance to fascist dystopian literature, past or present, is of course purely coincidental. Winston, would you like to say hello?
This is Winston Smith, and today we're talking some politics, and we have a few things to go over. Today, I would like to talk about the slush fund and maybe the Iraq War. And do you have anything, no one of consequence that do you want to talk about?
Um, Everything's fucking horrible.
Oh yeah,
That's
yeah,
all.
yeah. That was a
That
given. That was
was my analysis. You're welcome.
until
I'm
something
good.
changes. That's probably just the baseline for the whole country right now. I think so. It's not it's not unusual,
I
but the
with any other president, like any of the things that you just mentioned, would have been the worst thing about them. The Iran war, after specifically promising not to get us involved in the war in Iran,
Mhm.
and in his campaign saying that Kamala Harris was going to get us in a war with Iran, and actually running against that, and then getting
Yeah.
us in a war with Iran himself. And then, the Epstein files, of course, he promised to release those, and actually campaigned against Kamala Harris on the Epstein files, and then takes office and immediately does a 180. For anyone else, that would have been the worst thing.
Well, I was saying, I wonder how many,
Everything's horrible.
yeah, I wonder how many times a week Trump does or says something that is considered in normal times the worst thing for a president that a president's ever done. Like, I wonder how many of those he does pre 2016 president worst thing a president did ever. How many of those he does a week? It's not zero. It's definitely not zero, but it's not every day. But I think that probably he's averaging 1.2 worst things ever per week. I mean, if Obama can
Yeah.
get if Obama's scandal was the tan suit, so um, they're still bringing that up.
um,
He's on that picture they just did. He's in the tan suit in that Brady Bunch picture that he posted, that AI generated poster of the 9 people who are his top political enemies, and Obama's on there with a tan suit on. Still, it's been what, 12 years?
I didn't see, I didn't see that,
Yeah,
but
pretty good.
yeah, that doesn't surprise me. Yeah, I'd say 1.2 worst things ever per week, and
Yeah.
then another, like, I don't know, 3.7 major scandals. Not worst thing ever, but major scandals.
Oh yeah,
If
yeah.
we're including things he says, things he says that are absolutely awful and damaging
Oh, oh yeah.
to the country.
The
A
things
lot
that
of
they
his supporters.
forgive him for, the things that Joe Biden was not a perfect president by any means, and he's not the president that we deserve or want, or was what we deserve or want. But for all of the shit that he got, for every little thing that he misspoke or
Yeah,
stumbled over his words, just
yeah.
today, Trump said. What, oh God, it was so good. Let me it was ridiculous, but it's every day. So I can't, I mean, there's just every day he says something ridiculous. Like, I don't know what a I just made up the word corner store. Like, I never heard that before. Like, what? What are you talking about? And and claiming
It's
that he brought
we
down
have
Osama bin Laden, you know, things like that.
yeah, we're suffering from outrage fatigue with him.
Yeah, I think it's
He's
always
just
time.
so insane. He does such horrible things, says such horrible things on a daily basis that we just can't keep up. We're fatigued,
Yeah,
and
this
I
is
think
the
it
Steve
might be
Bannon
by
playbook,
design.
man. They're doing exactly what they said they would. That's at least commendable. So,
Yeah.
uh,
So, how's this Iran war going? It's going aces, right?
to be perfectly frank, I don't know what the fuck is going on. to be honest with you. I have no idea. We get
That's good because neither does the administration.
Yeah, yeah. Even from they say it out of one side of their mouth, they're like, we're working for a treaty. Hopefully, we got a treaty in the works. We're in talks of this, and then on the news they bombed another oil refinery in Iran. Like, what is? I have no idea. I have no idea how it's going. I know it's not going good. That's not going to be. There's no winning this war is impossible. Like, what are they have to get a new regime change that would be Israel friendly, which is because that would be winning to them. It's not necessarily winning in the scheme of things, but is winning to the U.S. and Israeli governments. An Israeli friendly regime change in Iran, it might be a big ask, I think, in that region. So there is no win. There's nobody win. The other win is a complete eradication of every Iranian in that country. That's the other win, because that's the only other way to win. Otherwise, you back out. You've entrenched your enemy. You've turned anybody who was on the fence is now on board with you're blowing up people in Iran. So everybody in Iran's going to hate you. Yeah, this is terrible in every conceivable way. And we have the worst possible people in charge. So yeah, it's going great. It's like Hitler's in his bunker days, like that kind of stuff.
It sounds like it's splendid. On the bright side, if things do go really well, and we fight really hard and suffer a lot of losses on both sides, a lot of people die. We spend tons of money. A lot of people get injured, and we end up in the best case scenario. The best case scenario now is getting the same deal we already had that Trump scrapped just because Obama did it.
Yes.
That's the best.
That would be absolutely best. And that's even that's impossible because Iran learned through our stupidity that we are incapable of preventing them from closing the strait, and that if the whole world pays attention to them when they do it, and they can get whatever they want, they can do whatever they want. All they got to do is just make a phone call. We're closing the strait, and nobody's going to send their ships through because nobody wants to risk a $500 million ship. So they just don't. They don't even have to do anything. They just have to say it. Isn't that great? Isn't that great knowing that?
Yeah, it's also, this is, a tangential topic, but it would have been like kind of cool if 20, 30 years ago we listened to like a minor percentage of prognosticators, like everyone, all of them, who were warning us to really end our addiction to oil, to petrol, to oil-based petrol, to run our entire economy, because it's for a lot of reasons. I'm really glad we ignored them because
it would not help to have an alternative fuel source for cars and stuff right now. It wouldn't help at all.
Yeah, that would suck. That would be terrible.
And this slush fund is in no way going to embolden people to, commit treason for the president. That's not an outcome of this, right?
No.
Wait, you're telling me that not only will I get pardoned for federal crimes that I commit up until assaulting police officers, probably worse, if truth be told, and I possibly could get a percentage of a couple $1 billion?
And
I'm thinking about that.
Defending that too. His supporters are online defending that too,
dude.
And they'll lie. They'll say, "Well, it's not going to the ones who attack law enforcement," but that's a lie. It is going. It is going to attack the law enforcement.
To be honest with you, this is the most evil and also smartest thing I think they've done so far. Like, they've made it so that anybody in the country who has a MAGA flag on their thing might do anything he asks them to do. And they'll think that it's, well, I'm losing out. I'm losing money if I don't do it. When is it going to end? When is this going to stop? When is enough enough? when
For
people,
Trump, for diehard Trump supporters, nothing, like nothing, zero, zip, zilch, nada, nola,
it's
niente,
crazy. Man, I
nine,
wish we had I wish
zero, zero.
he
There
was
is
just
nothing.
a good guy. Why can't he be nice and have this kind of power? Seriously, he could have become president, rode Biden's wave, just gave every illegal immigrant in this country amnesty day one. He could have done that, and he would be remembered as one of the greatest presidents ever. And if he did nothing else and just rode the economy, let the economy take care of itself. It was already back. Just let it continue. And they'd have been like, "Oh my God, what a great guy! He gave amnesty to all these legal immigrants, and we."
He could have, but he.
But they're brown. Like they're not gold. If they were gold,
He's a thorough fascist.
a
He
thorough.
is a fascist through and through, and a fascist isn't going to be happy with what you just said. He wants to implement his fascism.
I think that we learned a lesson about CEOs and businessmen becoming president. And I think that they're the least likely, even the best, even like a Bill Gates or a Warren Buffett or anybody who runs $1 billion corporation. I don't think that they're fit for this kind of work because they're not used to working in an environment where they have anyone to answer to. You know what I'm saying? Like a CEO does through its stockholders, but like if you like Trump specifically, which is not a publicly traded company, right? Trump is not a publicly traded company. Trump, whatever.
Right.
Right. He just owns it outright. So for him specifically, he is. I doubt he's ever been told no ever in his whole life before he became president. Not one time. I wouldn't be surprised. And that's not the kind of person that you need as president. Maximizing your own money is not what a president should do. Like they're just ill-equipped to deal with it. Like if you have somebody who's doing poor at work and they're not going to work and they're just a pain in your ass, you fire them. You don't find out. You don't give them money to try to pick up their get off their drugs or whatever the problem is that they're having. You just fire them. You don't think about it again. It's business. I just don't think that anybody, even the nicest, the best intended CEO is just ill-equipped to do this. You have to want to help people fundamentally and make a system better, not exploit it for your own for
power.
For profit,
Which
power, yeah.
Which he's doing. Again, back to what we were saying earlier. If any other president pulled the shit that he pulls just to enrich himself, his worth is like tripled since he's been president.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And he manipulates stocks and then buys the stocks when they're low.
Yeah, he said they had 3,700 moves this financial quarter.
Yeah, he does this. And again, if any other president did this would be far and away the worst thing they ever did. But for him, it's like it ranks at number 17 or 18. It's like it's so many different degrees of depravity. It's awful.
Oh, dude,
and we're accused. Trump supporters dismiss this as a TDS, Trump derangement syndrome, and they.
If you disagree with Trump, you have a condition. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that they claim that Trump derangement syndrome is like a clinical thing. I think that they really think that's it's a mental disorder. Like,
yeah.
If that is how they're going to portray it, I may go on disability for Trump derangement syndrome. I'm going to be serious. I'm going to be the first one to do it. I'm like, I have such anxiety about our president, and since I must be wrong because he can't be, then I am mentally incapable right now, and I need to go on disability. I don't think that there's an argument against that. They can't say, well, Trump's wrong. Oh, okay. I mean, honestly, you can catch him in some stuff. I might do that. Claim disability from.
I like it.
We
Want
should all do
disability
it.
with Trump, and if they claim that you can't, just ask them why. Is Trump wrong?
Is Trump? Yeah, or is it not a condition, or is it just made up? Is it made up? No.
Well,
you have
to
not
be honest, I mean, this is a funny thought experiment, but in all honesty, people can say it is a condition, but it's not one that qualifies for.
Yeah, they could say, "Oh, it's not in the it's not in the what is it, the psychological handbook that has all the different things in it." But neither is malignant narcissism though. So,
but
yeah,
Trump support. The more I go on, I already hate Trump as much as I possibly can ever hate a human being. He's awful in every way.
Yeah.
Every time he does or says another egregious, depraved thing, I don't find myself getting angrier at him. I find myself getting angrier at the people who continue to support him.
I agree with you.
Unreal.
Yeah. Because he's shown his true colors. Yeah. I agree. We knew what kind of person he was when he made fun of the disabled reporter during the campaign in 2016. We knew exactly what kind of person he was.
If you talk to any of the supporters online about that, like even that, they'll guess like they guess like that too. They're like, that was taken out of context. He wasn't making fun of it. Are you serious? It's right there in broad daylight. It's clear.
Yeah. It's exactly what he. Yeah, there's no other way to interpret
context.
Mm-hmm.
Unreal. They'll just gaslight any single thing, though. He tried to overturn an election. It's because he actually won. There's no way they could believe that. There's no way they could actually believe that he actually won, and was only lost because of fraud. I don't believe that they. Not only I think they're wrong, I think they're lying. I don't think there's any way they can believe that.
They don't believe it.
All the court decisions that said no, it was fair. There was no significant fraud, and many of them were Republican judges. Some of them appointed by Trump himself, and they're going to sit there with a straight face and try to claim that they even believe that election was really stolen. I don't believe they actually believe that.
I don't think so either.
And the kicker is in those court cases, not only did they lose, even what they were alleging would not have been significant enough fraud to overcome the vote differences.
Yeah.
Even what they were alleging.
Yeah. Dude,
there's no way anyone actually believes that. They're just gaslighting.
They believe anything that he says. Like on Twitter, I think yesterday he posted that that Joe Biden's, maybe it was yesterday, but within the last couple of days, that Joe Biden's FBI was in the crowd on January 6th, and they are the ones who did it. If even a cursory, Joe Biden wasn't president, okay? Donald Trump was president when that happened. There is no Joe Biden FBI. There's no Joe Biden anything at that point. So everybody knows that it's a lie, but nobody calls him out on it. They can't. I think that
still support it. I mean, they'll still defend that. They defend it.
Yeah. Joe Biden called Trump and asked Trump to put the FBI's in there. Yeah, there probably were FBI agents in that crowd. If I was the FBI, I would have agents in the crowd of angry mobsters storming the Capitol. I probably would. But I don't think that they're the ones unless Trump fucking paid them to do it. Then otherwise it's just all gaslighting. It's all bullshit.
So his supporters will claim that, yes, that's true. Biden, even though he wasn't president, somehow had FBI agents in the crowd to sabotage, and they're the ones that stormed the Capitol. Also, Trump is pardoning those people who stormed the Capitol. So is he pardoning the FBI agents that were working for Biden?
I asked that exact same
No,
question
both
before.
of those at the same time. They'll just accept both of those, and there's no way they believe it. Nobody's that stupid. Like you can't believe that.
I think that there
They're
are
lying.
people who are that stupid. Did you see that clip of Jordan Klepper from The Daily Show where he's talking to a guy who was a January 6th guy who he asked the January 6th guy, what did you do? He said, well, I came down here, I broke into the Capitol, I was arrested, I pled guilty to it, and then I got pardoned. And he's all celebrating, he's got his Trump stuff on. He goes, okay, well, what do you think about these who caused the insurrection on January 6th? And he goes, that same guy said the Democrats did it, planning the FBI in there. He pled guilty to it and bragged about doing the things that, and then claimed that he didn't do it in the same sentence. Like, that's insane. These people are literally insane.
Yeah, see, I just, to me, they're just gaslighting. I'm not going to give them the excuse of ignorance or stupidity. Like, that's impossible. You can't actually.
Yeah, you can't put your shoes on, get that dumb. Yeah.
You can't know that you're one of the insurrectionists and somehow hold to the fact, to the idea that these were the insurrection was caused by FBI agents who were planted by Biden. You can't hold those two beliefs at the same time.
No.
There's not enough cognitive dissonance in the universe. That kind of cognitive dissonance is not possible. I'm not giving them the excuse of ignorance or stupidity ever again. They are just evil people. They're gaslighting because they want their Lord and Savior to dismantle the Constitution, usurp dictatorial power, and that's what they're doing.
I wish I knew their motivation. I wish I knew the motivation that these people have. They must know, or maybe they don't know, but you would think that they would know what this entails, what a totalitarian, authoritarian regime would actually be for them. Like it gives, everybody loses except for the few people at top. That everybody loses. There's no other way. No, there's never like a really awesome dictatorship. Oh, like this guy's really cool. Like maybe Aragon in Minas Tirith was probably
in Lord of the Rings. Yeah,
in Lord of the Rings was probably a decent dictator because that's what he was. Let's be clear. But other than
it's the same thing.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. The problem is people will talk about benevolent dictatorships, but it's literally impossible. It's a contradiction. You can't possibly hold on to dictatorial power without being despotic. You have to crush dissent.
Yeah.
You have to crush dissent. You cannot allow criticism of yourself as dictator if you want to maintain.
And there always has to be an enemy.
So
there has to be an enemy for everybody to rally behind. And eventually, if Donald Trump got what he wanted, or not really more than him, the people behind him got what they wanted, they would. You go after immigrants. Oh, now there's too many black people here. Oh, now we're going after Native Americans, but pretty soon they're going after Catholics because because the people behind the scenes are evangelical Christians. They're going after Catholics. They're going after anybody who doesn't fit what they exactly want. That's it. And the only people that are going to you're left with a Handmaid's Tale and people with machine guns out front on the streets. And if they see a girl reading, they shoot her in the face.
Yeah, it's bizarre because you're right. It doesn't actually end up good for anybody.
Yeah,
ever. Like nobody ever wins in any kind of totalitarian system of any stripe.
I just hope it doesn't come down to bloodshed because that's what it is. There's 150 million. I don't think a single one of these Trump idiots will do anything physically, violence wise.
I mean, we know a lot of them. Like,
yeah. I don't think any one of them are picking up arms against their Democratic friends. There are a few people like the Proud Boys and the crazies, but like the vast majority of MAGA is only gonna support that thing up to a point. They're not gonna put a gun in their kid's hand and go out there and shoot the liberals. You know what I mean? They're not gonna do that. But the people who are downtrodden, black people in this country, the black people have a legitimate problem with our government right now. They're being disenfranchised and rolled back. They're watching things that people died for in the 60s, in the 50s and 60s. They're getting them, they're watching them being pulled away from them. And that's what, 40, 50 million people? Like, no army on earth could stop them if they decided one day just to walk into Washington, D.C. and burn the fucking whole city down. They could do that if they wanted to. And I hope it doesn't come to that, because that's what they're going to end up making us do. There's no good way out of this if they don't stop soon. Like, once violence begins, it won't stop until, I don't know. Has anything like this ever happened before? Has a country of our size ever been through anything like that? I mean, how many people are in Russia? 100 million? There's 50 million people in Germany, 50 million people in
Russia is about 160 million. I'd have to look it up, but it's
something
somewhere
like
around
that.
100.
Less than half of our population.
A little bit less than half, I think.
Yeah.
And as far as civilizations that have had more people, I think just the current ones, India and China, are the only ones that have had more than we have. And of course, China is under an autocratic authoritarian regime.
For sure, yeah.
But I don't know that they ever. I mean, I think they've always been. I don't know of. It's not like they had a constitutional democratic republic at some point, and
right.
They've always been like this. So I think the answer to your question is no. I don't think a country as big as ours has ever gone a metamorphosis from a constitutional republic to some kind of totalitarian state, or some kind of autocratic authoritarian state of some kind, fascist or monarchy or whatever. I don't think that's ever happened, to answer your question. I never thought of that, but I don't think so.
I can see how, like, when Trump looks at like somebody like Putin, and he idolizes Putin for sure. But Putin inherited a system where for 50 years, almost 40 years, nobody in that country was allowed to have a gun. And and then it was less than a decade after or about a decade or 15 years after the fall of the Berlin Wall that he became president of Russia. But that's not enough time for, like, the people had been downtrodden and never got a chance really to become a true democracy. So I don't even know if that really counts. They almost kind of just had like a little dozen-year hiatus from dictatorship, and it's just manifested in a different way now. And then China, of course, same thing. They've just been beat down since the 20s, I think, when right Mao Zedong back then, right after World War One. I don't know, man. I hope it doesn't come to violence, though. I would like it to end before then, and we can climb back. But
yeah, right now I'm just counting the months. Like, we're under 32 months till the end of the Trump presidency, and that's all I'm thinking. He's not going to get that third term. He will likely try. He goes back and forth, but my guess
he'll 100% try. There's no doubt he'll try. I think
I don't. Maybe I'm too naively optimistic, but I just think he'll fail at that.
I think he'll fail too. I don't think it's going to happen. But he'll definitely try, because it's the only thing he's got left. If they lose by they I mean the GOP, if the MAGA loses the midterms, I don't think that they impeach him right away. I think that they just stop him from doing stuff that he wants to do, and make him the rest of his presidency is just him stuck in litigation and shit like that. And which would be great. But if he's alive and healthy-ish, like the same he is right now, and in 2028, I guarantee that he tries to get out, because he knows that once he's not president, he's in deep shit. So, I mean, if what I heard from the Jack Smith investigation is even partially true, some of the documents that the FBI found there immediately called for a national security emergency just for them being in Mar-a-Lago. They were so top secret that it was like it's set like the NSA in motion at that moment because they had issues like that. We have like top secret shit out. So if that's true, if just that little part of this investigation is true, that means that he's going to prison afterwards, no matter what. And a whole bunch of people are going to prison afterwards. So yeah, he's definitely going to be going. He's definitely going to go for a third term.
Dude, you have TDS.
Oh,
that's the whole thing back.
I knew it. You know, I thought this was coming on. I thought I had a little bit of it. It's been going around. Oh man,
everyone's that's the ultimate defense for every Trump supporter. TDS, it's all bullshit. It's all media. What's your source?
Yeah, it doesn't matter what that source is. That source could be Jesus Christ coming down on a cloud to tell them that Trump's bad, and they would go, "Oh, look at how far he's got TDS too."
Yeah, I guess we got to wrap it up.
Yeah. Yep. I'm Winston Smith. This has been great.
I am known of consequence. I don't care. Everything sucks. We'll talk to you next time.
See you next week.
Peace. See you.